Hi everyone, my name's Tom. In this video I'm going to break down some of the games on Game Pass for the Xbox One, and if this is for you in 2022, I'm going to get straight off in the bat. I think if you're a Switch owner and you don't have a PC, or the idea of a gaming PC daunts you a little bit, it costs too much, you can't afford a Series X or the next other consoles that are higher gen. If you've just got the Switch, or mobile gaming is another example, I think something like this is a fantastic package to pick up and extend your gaming. I think this is for 1080p, don't get me wrong. If you've got a 4K TV, you might not get the best out of it here, and you'll probably be able to get the One X or higher console. But if you've got a 1080p TV, and I say Nintendo Switch is 1080p only, so that's why I say it works well. I'm on PC and I still use 1080p. I think it still looks great. You get the most frames and performance, but obviously I can understand people want the 4K experience. Now, here are some of the games I've actually got installed. I'm going to do a top 10 Xbox One games. I'm also going to do a top 10 classic games from Game Pass, coming soon on the channel. So if you enjoy this video and you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and if you enjoy it, please leave a like. But anyway, going into it, I'm going to do an overview of Game Pass here, and my experience. Now, I see all of these here that I've got installed. A bit of a spoiler, I guess, for the top 10, some of them, not all of them. There will be some surprises in there, but these are all fantastic on here. Whether they're native 1080p or like slightly lower at 900p, I'm not too sure, but the experience on all these games is really good. Now, if we were to actually go over to Game Pass, I've got 2 months free trial, which has been quite enjoyable. I possibly won't renew it unless it's for review purposes, because I've got the Ultimate here and it's got PC and Xbox. I only really interested in the Xbox Live experience, playing multiplayer games, and I'm still a bit old school, I like my physical copies. But of course, everything's going digital now. You got the Series S, which is only digital itself, and so I can understand. But I just thought I'd go through the list here. I played some of these games like Alien Isolation, plays great. I didn't do a video on it though because I just didn't think it was good for the channel. Obviously, we got Among Us, that's very popular. 7 Days to Die, I've not tried that. We got some 360 games in here. Anthem, I'm just diving into that now. That plays really good. I'll be doing some videos on that on this Xbox One soon. There's a lot of indie games on there. Assassin's Creed Origins, that's new, and I assume the others will arrive soon. Something that's really surprised me, and I didn't like at first, but I gave it a second chance, is Back 4 Blood, and that's a really good experience. And I'll say a game like that in itself is almost worth getting Game Pass for a month or two and just trying some of these games that are almost a bit too expensive or aren't on sale. And you don't want to know if you just want to try it before you buy it. This is a great, what I consider, rental experience. Have it for a month or two if you can afford it. Obviously, have the full 12 months and things and enjoy it. But I think for someone just to have this, say, for their birthday, and then afterwards they can go and purchase the digital or physical copies of the games they enjoyed, I think is a fantastic service. I mean, the Battlefield series here is a great series. You've got Batman, I've never played. I'm sure that's good. Banjo-Kazooie. Again, it's another game I've never really played. But the Battlefield series, I don't know how the single player holds up. I've never really played it, but of course, I think games like Battlefield 1 and Hardline and 5 are still quite popular. And believe it or not, 1943 is actually still really popular as well. Black is very popular. I've never played it. Blinks is something I'm going to play. Both of these I'm going to play soon. I've not tried it. Obviously, we've got a lot of other smaller indie games in here. Of course, these might be your thing, for if you're going to do cloud gaming, which again, I'm going to do another video on that. It's not so good for me. Your experience may vary with that. Paradise Remastered is fantastic, really good on this console. Crackdown 3 is popular. I don't know how it performs on him. I'm sure it's pretty good. Crisis series, if you really want to dive into that, I'm sure a lot of these people really like these, what is it, Dragon Age, and there's a few others on it. It might be a bit further down. Darkest Dungeon, Dead Space, I'm going to play through that soon. I've never played it before, always wanted to. I played bits with my friend years ago. The Dirt Rally series is very good. There's a lot of good racing games on here, and these are probably the harder ones. Appeal to the bit of the casual, but I would say these wouldn't be most people's go-to. Dishonored, I've never played that. I might dabble a little bit coming up on the channel. Doom, very good games. Obviously, it goes without saying, great. If you've never really played shooter games before, they're the ones to dive into, really. Dragon Age, that was the one there. Dragon Ball Z Fighters, that's actually, I'm not into Dragon Ball Z at all, but that's a fantastic game. Not to mention, we've got FIFA, we've got PGA Tour, EA games, I'm sure they're great. We've got UFC again, never played it, I'm sure it's great. We've got the Morrowind. Elder Scrolls series. So you keep seeing this Empire of Sin. I might check that out. And you got other stuff like Elite and Dangerous. It looks good. I've never seen this. Is this a scroll or is this a This looks quite an in-depth game. So this is what I mean. There's so much variety here. I'm not going to be able to cover all of this, which is why I thought I'd do this video just quickly glossing over it, because this will possibly change. But I don't know if you can look at these games like this if you haven't got Game Pass. So, you know, you might see something that I haven't picked out, and that's fine. Fable, great game. Although I played that in its era, and going back to it, just playing it briefly, I don't know how it's, characters are all a little bit odd looking and everything. People still might enjoy it, but I don't know. Fallout 3 is amazing games, really, really good. I didn't get into 4, but 3 and New Vegas I've not played, and I've heard that's really good. But 3, one of my favorite games. Farming Simulator, I might check that out. Final Fantasy, I'm going to play those as well. I might play the PC versions, but I got those on physical. Forza Horizon obviously goes without saying, that's going to be a big reason to get Game Pass. I'd imagine for some people, they're not my cup of tea, but they are very enjoyable games, and I can see people doing that. Same with Gears 5 and the Gears series. If you haven't played them, we haven't got them, this would be a great way to play them. You know, you can play through the entire series here from the beginning, and you've even got the Ultimate Edition as well, although I think that game is actually kind of dead, unfortunately, but we'll see. Gears Tactics, I need to check that out. Grid is a big good game. Goat Simulator, God knows why that's on here, but I'm sure it's fun. Halo Infinite, I'm going to play through the campaign, I believe, on this. I'll do that soon, come up on the channel next week or two. And then I'm going to do the Master Chief Collection, because I've never done that. I've obviously played up until like Halo 4, and that's the last one I played. I've played all the ones before that, but not after. I think this Hellblade's meant to be good. I won't play it. Trilogy for the Hitman is obviously very good. I'm not going to play that again. These are kind of games where I think when you're a new or fresh gamer, these are fantastic games to get into, but it's something I've got no interest now. Personally going into. If people really want me to cover them, I can, but I'm not going to complete it. I'm not getting into it. Cameo was a game I always wanted to play, and I downloaded it, and it was terrible. I didn't even want to do a video of it, so that's that. Just Cause is a very popular game. And again, I've never got into it. Killer Instinct, the classic, is fantastic, but I'm not too sure about this one. Lemons Gate, again, I think I've heard of that. Lawnmower Simulator, why that's on here again, I don't know. Limbo, I've heard that's meant to be good. Some of these, again, all like indie titles. Downhill's meant to be good. You've got the NFL is Madden, sorry. Mass Effect, I've never played them. I actually tried this original Mass Effect. I played like the first half an hour, 40 minutes, and there's a lot of dialogue. I'm sure in its era it was very impressive. A lot of my friends on the 360 were playing that game. Nothing about it appeals to me, but your experience may vary. And again, look, we've got like 5 games on here, so you know there's a lot of content there for you. Flight Simulator, I am going to check that out, possibly on the PC. I should download it for this, but the problem is it's quite a big file. It's like 150 gigs, so to download it twice, you know, it's 300 gigabytes or whatever. I don't really want to say commit to that. Mirror's Edge, the first one's fantastic. I'd say that's one of my top 10 games for sure, in just general playstyle. And the second one's okay. I didn't complete it, but I didn't. It's more like kind of free roam. You just get to open world free roam at a point. I didn't really like that, because you just end up going back and forth on the same routes over and over and over again. It was kind of boring. Whereas the first one, it was like missions. You had a different level each time. That was good. Need for Speed, I've not played these, but I think again they're going to be fantastic games. NHL, I'm just going to suit someone. I've just covered these games, these Ninja Gaiden games. I think they've just been remastered. I don't know if they've been called and been remastered. They must have been, but nowhere says it's a remaster, but it is a remaster. They are really good. I haven't heard too much people talking about those, but they are fantastic. I particularly like to say the second one. I could really get into that. That was very good. I played a bit of the third, and it seemed a lot harder. But the second one, the first one's good, but the second one's really, really quite enjoyable. I might do a bit more on that, but we'll see how that video does. Oblivion, I kind of played that in its day. Not really me. I'm more Fallout, but I could see some people really got into that. More indie games. Ori, I think that's very good, but I've a bit too sad for me, unfortunately. It hits a bit too much home. Outer Worlds, I think that's meant to be very good again. Payday 2, I didn't like that. I've got a video of that coming out soon. I don't like that. With Back for Blood and like there's Rainbow Six Extraction on here, I don't see the point. I think that game's, well, if it suits you, well, I just don't like it. Perfect Dark Zero is a classic. Perfect Dark, the original, this is actually really good. I don't know if I missed this. I had Rare Replay back in its day, and I think it came with this, but it wasn't wasn't popular. I think at one point this might have been popular when it first came to Game Pass. Everyone's talking about GoldenEye at the minute. That might be a thing coming if in the future, Tom. But that's a hint at the sort of era what's going on. That is if Xbox is going to drop a GoldenEye remaster. But I'm sitting there going, well, Perfect Dark was always the better version of GoldenEye, and they've already done it. So if that is as popular as they say it is, why isn't that more popular? But that's a really good game. I played a bit of it. Obviously, I played it a lot on the N64. But the remaster is really polished on here. They're both fantastic games. I'm looking forward to the next one. It's a bit of a hollow series on the Xbox here. They should have really done one for this Xbox One, and let alone another one for the series. But they've obviously forgot about it. Psychonauts I've never played. It's going to come up soon. What else? We've got Power Rangers. I'd love to see that as a thing. Prey was actually really good on here, on this Xbox One. So that's another recommendation I might well put in. Or it's going to be a runner-up on my top 10 at least. It's still worthy of a play. Rage, I've not really heard of those. I don't know if they were just like American games or something, but until it came to Game Pass, I never heard of those before. They're a bit, I think, RPG style, Fallout sort of style, survival, Mad Max games. I don't know. Not really my thing. This Rise, Son of Rome, I probably won't download that, but I think that's meant to be very, very good on this console. I think that's got a bit of a good following on it. Sea of Thieves, I've just played that. I'm sure, again, a bit like Daisy, if you sort of really got into it, it would be a very fun game. But for me, no, it's boring. Sims 4, very good. I'm sure it's entertaining. Sniper Elite 5 was one of the recent ones on here, and that's actually quite good on here. It's 30 frames second locked, and it plays fantastic. And the same with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. That's a really good game. If I was younger and I had more views on the channel, I'd play through that and do a video on it. I was going to do the PC version to get the best effects out of it, but unfortunately, it's being real with you here. I'm not going to play through 14 hours of story to get like 10 views on a video. I'd like to play through it and video it, but it takes so long to edit and render and make that video happen and upload it to just get a few views, where I could just make so many more videos like this, and it's so much quicker and easier and better content in many ways. Battlefront 2, I've never played it, but I played the original. Fantastic games, the original. I've seen some popular streamers I watch play this, and it looks a great game. Again, not really for me. It's basically Battlefield. But if you want Battlefield with a twist, that's probably what I would go for. Instead of the Battlefield series, I'd actually probably say go and play Battlefront 2. You'll have probably a lot more fun. Squadrons, really good game. In fact, even I actually say I'm going to play Call of Duty, but that's coming from a long time Battlefield game for the last 5-6 years. Is just go and play Call of Duty. It's so much better. I don't know what's happened to Battlefield, unfortunately. Sunset Overdrive, really good game. And look, Super Lucky's Tale. Wait, is both of them? Why have got Lucky's Tale and Super Lucky's Tale? Oh, I don't know. I think I always saw Lucky's Tale, but whatever. That's an okay, great game for kids to get into. Rainbow Six Siege and Extraction, I really like both of those, and they play fantastic on here. They're really good games to get into. And one of my favorites that I've missed, and I don't know how I missed it because I think I was playing Battlefield 1 and 5, is Titanfall 2. Oh my god, that's a really good game. I'm actually annoyed I've missed out on that game. It's kind of been and gone. There's still a good culture of people playing it, get online games and things, but yeah, that's I definitely missed out on that one. The Walking Dead series here is fantastic. I watched some YouTubers play that back when it came out. A really good series. Very enjoyable. I've not played it. I'm actually tempted to play through it while I've got Game Pass, to be honest. I think that might make a good series to play through, but I don't know how long it is, so I'll have to look into it. Wolfenstein, I never played them. I think it's similar to the Doom series. It's meant to be good. Worms is popular. World War Z, I think it's meant to be okay. I've not checked it out, and the same with Yakuza series is all on here, and it looks very good, but I've never checked it out. And Zombie Army 4 at the very bottom, which is actually going to be a bit hidden away down there. But again, I think when I played that, similar to if you like Sniper Elite, you'll love that. It's basically a survival mode for Sniper Elite. So yeah, that kind of covers it. Basically, if it wasn't already obvious, you kind of sport for a lot of choice and games you've probably never played before. And I think to pick up this console at a cheap price, you can pick up these Xbox Ones everywhere now. No one really wants them. The trouble for them is you can find the consoles, but not necessarily the controller. And controller prices have gone up because I think these are all backwards compatible with the series, and there's not much difference between a series controller and an Xbox One controller. So I was very fortunate. The one I picked up was pretty much immaculate. Like the controller I've got is like brand new. It's, you know, it's of the era, like 2015 or whatever, but it's obviously had not much use. That's what I try and say to suggest, is try and find one that's been well looked after, but for a good price. I think they're very worth it. And if not, get a One X. I probably will be picking up a One X after this. I'm just about done, I think, with the videos I want to do on it, and I think to get myself an upgrade instead of the Series X, which I might eventually get to do videos on, I'm probably going to upgrade and get a One X. But I think this is a fantastic console. I say if you've got a Nintendo Switch and you just want to open up your library of games, you want to dabble in a bit, say some shooter games or some more of the indie games, you will definitely notice the upgrade big time coming to this. If you've like enjoyed some games, even like the Overwatch and things on the Switch, then yeah, this would be a no-brainer. I think this is still a solid console, and there's still a lot of fun to be had. But of course, if you can get a better one at a better deal, go for the deal. You know, go for the deal. What you can do. Same with Game Pass. Game Pass is always on deal. I got this 2-month ultimate bundle for like 50p, 20p, 20 cents, whatever you want to call it. It's not a lot of money, and that was just because the code was going out a day, and punch it in, you've got it for 2 months. Key thing here for me, and I'll close on this note, is that Microsoft usually is default. I've been with Microsoft for about 15-20 years now, in terms of Xbox Live, that they will have automatic renewal turned on. Ideally, turn it off, and it's in the menus, it's in the settings, it's very easy to find. Recurring membership, just turn it off, because I mean Game Pass is very expensive, but let alone I've had Xbox Live, I say, for many years, and there's been almost a couple of years I've paid for Xbox Live and I've never used it. Too busy working and everything else, and you end up paying like 50-60 quid a year, just, or £5 or £10 a month, just to not use it. And I think unfortunately that's kind of what they're going for. They're going for the idea that maybe you'll download a game or two here, and obviously this is very reliant. You need a very good internet connection to get the most out of this. You need to have this Xbox wired into the internet. That is a big thing. The Wi-Fi on this Xbox One is terrible. It took me with Rocket League, and my router's only like next to it. It's not even far, and my internet wireless is actually fantastic where I'm sitting. But for some reason, the chip in this Xbox, this wireless chip, is probably one of the worst chips I've ever seen. It took over a day, I think, to download Rocket League, which was like 25 gigabytes, and I'd usually download that in about an hour. We've got like 60 megabytes a second, so it would take about an hour or two to download that, no problem. And even with when it was plugged in by wired, yeah, it'd probably actually be quicker than that. It's actually downloads quicker than my PC when it's plugged in by wire. So I don't know how they've done that. But yeah, just don't do the wireless. I used to use the wireless when I had one of these consoles before, but just no, you've got to have it wired in. It performs best. Another thing that I'd mention, sorry, I'm rambling a bit here, but if this helps you, I'd say please leave a like. What I've actually ended up doing, this is a 500 gigabyte console. It's tremendously easy. I haven't got anything to hand to really show, but it's tremendously easy here to go and add an external hard drive to these. And I bought an old, it's like a 2013 hard drive, 1 terabyte hard drive, like the tiny ones it uses, and it was about 20-30 pounds. I bought a caddy for it, and it plugged it in the back of the USB, and it's sitting behind it with my capture card to record this video. And yeah, it works perfect. So I've now got all my if we actually go to it, all my storage is basically, I've got internal storage 500 gigs. Almost all of that is my 360 games and my Xbox One games, because they're like about 7 gigs, 5 to 10 gigs each. As we see here, they're not big. Whereas this external drive I got, which is a terabyte, it's got all my Xbox One games, and this was very much needed. Also, there's a few here that actually shouldn't be on here, but it's because this was needed. And even then, I'm actually running out of space. I've had to download, delete, and it feels entirely wasteful to, but I've been doing it to make videos, and I feel very fortunate to do that, because I used to have terrible internet. But that is, you know, things to consider if I'm going on this. Not all, if you haven't got a good internet connection, possibly isn't a great thing to do, you know, if you already struggle with download speeds. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye.